Hello YouTube and welcome back. I'm Mr. Miles and today I want to talk about Overwatch, but more specifically Overwatch 2. Actually, more specifically the speculation of Overwatch 2's release date. Now for those of you who don't know, Overwatch 2 was announced back on November 1st during Blizzcon 2019. It will feature fully fleshed out PvE modes for hero and co-op story missions, a new PvP mode called Push, new maps and new heroes, as well as all new looks for the existing ones. But when the topic of the release date came up during the Overwatch 2 What's Next panel, Kaplan had this to say.
The other big question is like, well, when do we get it? What's the date on this thing? I don't know. I have no idea. Like, just let us make it great. Like, that's what we care about more than anything. We don't have a date in mind.
He then went on to say that the team would be going dark for a while as they continue to work on Overwatch 2, but not to worry about the live game as there would be some updates coming later on down the road. So based on Jeff's super vaguest of vague answers to when Overwatch 2 will be released, I'm going to go ahead and speculate that we won't be getting our hands on Overwatch 2 until May 2021, the earliest. And let me tell you why I believe May 2021 is a done deal and why you'd be dreaming if you thought Overwatch 2 would release in 2020. Now, first off, I know what you're thinking. Those who attended Blizzcon were able to get their hands on the Rio de Janeiro story mission, and from their accounts, the game handled very much like a polished game, smooth, and everything we've come to love about Overwatch. Also, a few hero talent trees were shown off for the hero missions, as well as many of our new heroes getting new looks. So surely they seemed further along in their development to warrant an earlier release date than May 2021, right? Well, according to a report from ESPN, the network, responsible for the initial detail leak of Overwatch 2 prior to the announcement, including the update to Tracer's outfit and new Overwatch 2 logo. But I digress. ESPN reported back on November 1st after an interview with Kaplan that Overwatch 2 was nowhere near ready, and that the new heroes, modes, or maps would not be ready for the third season of Overwatch League, which begins February 8th of 2020, but more importantly, wraps up towards the end of September. Now, this just means that Overwatch 2 could have a fall release date, right? Well, it's possible, but given that the two other major titles that were announced at BlizzCon 2019, one of them potentially much closer to a 2020 release date based on its historical release timelines would be World of Warcraft, it's more probable that Blizzard would be pouring its marketing efforts into the release of World of Warcraft Shadowlands around the same time Overwatch League is wrapping up. And with BlizzCon 2020 right around the corner from then, it will need some fuel to add to that hype train that is BlizzCon 2020, and what better way of fueling that hype than with an Overwatch 2 beta announcement, and release date for Overwatch 2. Additionally, May 2021 would be coming at the back end of quarter 2, and with us potentially already deep into World of Warcraft Shadowlands, Blizzard might be looking for a way to boost its second quarter earnings. Insert Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2, quarter 2, quarter 2 Overwatch 2. It just makes sense. Now, obviously, the easiest and probably less accurate way to predict the release of a sequel is to look at the development cycle of its predecessor. Overwatch 1 was announced at BlizzCon November 7th, 2014, and then its beta went live October 2015, lasting through different stages until May 9th when it ended, and then the release date of Overwatch was May 24th, 2016. Now, outside of Diablo and StarCraft, Blizzard has been very consistent, well, sort of consistent, it's been alright consistent, with its release cycle for one of its other big powerhouses, World of Warcraft, giving us a new expansion every 2 years and releasing relatively around the same dates, give or take a few exceptions. Like I said, it's not the most accurate way to predict, but it is something to consider, given that Overwatch 1 was announced and released roughly within a year and a half. We see the same release cycle for Overwatch 2. It was announced November of 2019. Most likely will not compete with World of Warcraft Shadowlands in the fall of 2020, giving us an opportunity, a prime opportunity, for a release date or beta date announcement at BlizzCon 2020 with a spring to early summer release in 2021. I think this is pretty likely. I actually think it's far more likely we get any type of release of Overwatch 2 in 2021, regardless whether it's May or later in that fall, based on Kaplan's remarks about the game not being anywhere near ready, and that they would be going dark for some time while they continue to work on the game, saying just let us make the game great. Just gives me the indication that this game is not ready to be released within the next year or so. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Let me know down below when you think Overwatch 2 will be available, and if you liked the video or if you thought I was downright dumb, I want to know down below in the comments. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Your support is amazing. Feel free to like and subscribe, and remember, go with honor, and please move behind the barrier.